Every coach has his own identity. My identity is the orchestra philosophy. My orchestra is what I call the orchestra philosophy. The origin of the name of my football style of play came from a very good but excellent music band, the TPOK Jazz. That was the first orchestra that produced cool music. That's why I nicknamed my football the orchestra. It's the orchestra because inside my football, I combine different instruments, different qualities, different styles to make one final masterpiece. Welcome to the orchestra. I am a student of a back three system. Back three of two defensive, of two holding midfielders and three attackers. My football has wing backs both on the right and left, and I attack with these three players. I work seamlessly because in a build-up, due to the problem of a back three possesses, I split my team into four, producing this backup by withdrawing one defensive midfielder in here to make this line of four to ensure this build-up is successful. While these fullbacks here are occupied, forming a V shape for connectability, I progress this play by using the up and down football style of play, whereby the ball is passed here and then returned here and progress this side as we move forward into attacking phases. In attacking mode, I usually deploy these players into a narrow front three, whereby this right forward plays in the right half spaces. This center forward plays the space between in the central space. This left forward plays the left half space, while these wing backs join and attack these spaces and forming a line of five, a defensive third. While this number 9 can most probably be a flexible, not a target man, who can drop here, forming this pivot, while these players, as the original number 6 joins this area, these center backs push and form a midfield 3, while this rest defense remains with a 2. By moving this center back from here to here, it ensures that these two midfielders occupy zone 14 and also create an overload in between lines, forcing the defenders and the opponent's team into a low block because of these numbers, overloading numbers, which are coming into this opponent's half. So meaning that with this position of these players, it means that this opponent team has to withdraw some players to counter these numbers here. And in case of ball lost, here is what I call the defensive transition. In my defensive transition, I transit by following the following instruction. These three players, this first line of pressure, occupy this area of the ball. They surround this area, suffocating this area of the ball. Why? Because I believe that in football, the moment you come closer to a player, you implicate his line of vision and thought, whereby he comes from facing up to facing down because the space is smaller. So meaning if you make this opponent to lose this view of this team, he'll be forced into 1, a speedy pass, 2, into mistakes, 3, into loss of possession. While these players, this wing back right and left, they join this line of 4, and this center back drops into a line of 3, or rather drops into a line of 3 to make this 4. These 4 players, the second line of pressure, his duty or role is to mark the nearest options that this player on the ball can look for, while these players are the recovery players and the rest defense that are looking forward to long and panicked passes in behind. If this ball is regained here, we don't attack immediately. We play the 5-pass rule. We play 5 passes as we move into a regional phase of play, into attacking organization, whereby the players resume the long position within 5 passes, and we also resume this attacking position here. So it's as simple as that. My orchestra is about the high pressure, high gegenpress football, whereby these 3 players suffocate the areas around the ball. The 3 players are called the zone of intervention. This zone of intervention surrounds this area. When the second line of pressure is called zone of support, they mark and cut off support lines around these areas of the ball by forcing this player into a more panic pass. And this is called a zone of rest defense or a zone of recovery. This recovery zone is to recover long balls in behind or in between lines by either forming a double two with a +1 in the midfield of attacking this place, or forming a back three dropping deep with a keeper here. It forms a zone of support. And on regaining possession, the team plays 5 passes, 5 normal passes to regain stability and positional awareness for me to provide a structured attack. That is how I build up from my own half. That's how I build up eventually in the opponent's half. That's how I transition defensively, and also that's how I transition offensively. That is my philosophy. It's not day I'll ask these players to drop back. Sometimes I call my system a 3-4-3. Sometimes I call it a 3-2-5. All in all, it's about the supremacy. It's about the numbers that I'm pushing this side, the close proximity, the closeness, the compactness of this block in this area to make my orchestra work. That's my orchestra. I don't like soft music of recovery. I like the heavy metal one, the energetic one, the movement one. And it comes from training. I work on my training to make sure my team is able to perform these tasks effectively within a long period of time. Because of this football, there's no way that I can go to high pressure. Remember, giving the press situation is the best defensive situation, because here I'm compressing the lines of pressure. If I surround these areas of the ball, you find that this opponent has limited area. It's either he has a deep pass or he can make a long panic pass. This is what I'm counting on. I'm counting on the mistakes of the opponent and also preventing the moments of chaos. Moments of chaos, I mean that this team of mine, if it wins this position here and goes to the attack immediately, they are also vulnerable of losing this position and also be counter-attacked easily. Why? Because of the first point that I talked about, the lack of vision and awareness of space around this area of the pitch. Meaning, for anything to occur, you must first of all work on the vision and awareness, the football intelligence, the information around. So if I squeeze this player and suffocate these areas around this ball, this player is forced into a decision to make, either to make a recovery pass, either to make a bad pass, and I thrive in that. And if I get in position, is to play the 5 passes. The 5 passes, maybe I deep pass first, 1, pass 2, pass 3, pass 4. By the time this team is transitioning into attack on the scene, the team will have flown and got into gear to prevent a structured attack, whereby here it's about dribbling and getting in. Here it's about finding these runners here, dropping in between here to receive this ball, creating an overload, running in behind, making this level of runs, making these crosses here to this back post runs here. So it's everything about the flexibility. It's a difficult